horse ni be send there but I your power chow I say a patch on the here now me pay attention so it means that you see forgiveness is part of marriage trust is part of marriage communication is part of marriage and so if all your attention is going only to the communication you will have problem
in the issues of fear try that better now must solve issues bro no far because for all you know you follow them mommy na all of a sudden what na so to the onye kunu jai na wo grand or interview no can there we fife da membre na we
if your husband is giving you hard time na say bia unto me sure how come say who fear unto me control who kunu ba ko pe unto me control no then when you come on social media you are giving counseling do you know what I'm going through into sema wo kan ogi di say me so ma ebeboa me say ebeboa me adent na wo no unto me fe bi ma ukunu
no the time now your buyer brand ho asema ukun ye ukun ye wo fie ye man was sorry won say won ho ntina won kum wo fa wechi na ade nti beginning no a lot of ladies didn't like her but as time goes on I should if you do not nakasa recently or the buy no there so nim there na mebe call against her this time and na send bia no be out today
Abba Gloria Atanase on the napam for what I propose for to say Rebreo
Enyanum adofo ebusiafo momo bibia akwa ba enubre ba abrabo efutisem Abba Gloria mitina sidem na na cheden sem wo ho adesua wo ho afutu papa na enubre so ye dibre edo aside de bia nya time na data na edesua afutu pa diti afutu pa ewo dwumedido senya misha ma dwuma bia ye bia na enkoye na ye scatter more data ya de masu na ye den na aboafo ase apostle Robert Edanasi de bia eto nsafre na oba na misha no maye na oba pen esikum no so de bia na or yeto nsafre na oba no so nya misha no maye na Reverend Bishop Anoville ono so nya misha no maye fact nya misha wo nyina wo afutu pa de bia wo de maye wo abrabo efutise said Yankopon the Nankasa only soon a debut of Fantiafo now on churching quampa now young warrior now worry now ebusiafo in you video be a miss aka and I epede ye share na yesia bibia fa ho ye mama call ye counselor ni situation na wako na epede fa adusua wo was say court today obi na bojo sure na so this wododo de bia ye huniti e bacheche na de be we or de fa na yesuesua bibi wo de we be ya yesu yankoto situation ma na even say nam similar one cra e be hu de we betutu ye na nambo nti before ye afoto na de beba no ye ntie video no na ye wia ya atiado
wo afifie wa park wo niema afi aware ase no akofie no asamba wakofie no asamba onko ekra akobesa how many times
simple kan
hey
bebre
is more than 6
oh yeah bebro
o park wo niema ju kofie odi how many weeks
me nko ma me ho me ko me bebi am me ko
ju park wo niema na onko family
no, I don't want them to be worried
etu kwota nine
okay na me younger brother no on apartment me be chiba me no
nti no akwota na onua ne
me ko
ti na okunu wa ba wa be pa che
so be hwehwe me da bi o ba be hwehwe me so be frame me ko me nkra because me no me ma na eko
o se sa o ma ne ko
nya me ba mo bia ene me ma ne ko na makohwe ma ade ti me ma ne ko amia me ko na fere chire masaba
ede na ma wunya wadwe se sama o samba
yes I feel sesa na kwa me ko no nye bone so me feel say me problem because nipa anytime be here I say or complain say
nti a on pa o che on krokro
oh no dey normal say and a chew pa na krokro no nche da hu hia but the hu hia ne when we can't communicate maybe I may communicating maybe I feel say I'm a torment on can't just say you're tormenting him but the action just say
I think I'm privileged many the first radio personality in Ghana met to me and ukunu atwetwe nkomo I don't know said that conversation with here but from investigation be a mayor, I put it to your husband, said, Ukunu are very humble. 2, Ukunu to me ko jom, ekoye shopping, kudiga, eba benwe diane. You are blessed to have a husband like that.
Yeah, that's all that.
Ukunu we diane ma.
Yeah.
Diane a wope.
Yes.
Ube fi krum beba na ukunu we diane ma.
He's a very good cook too. Oh yeah, diane ba.
Na we nyina no wasan park on ma na.
Anya diane no a. Marriage is beyond diane no a. Anya no diane na.
Nende bema bena be nya no ye so for benu diane ma.
Oh bebre wo ho. Good ones are there. And no nya problem very good, but communication.
So that's all that he want?
No, that was all. Say me no yen temu no. Ye benyanti asen. Only problem was communication.
I'm also told say ukunu so na sorry nti ebi okrampa na oda altar on befi.
What is your worry for no?
Otimi that altar.
That ye worry ye. Ye worry Saturday, right? One me hu na adwo no.
Jesus.
No, that sorry there. Me hwehwe me kro na adwo na girlfriend ko fo wada. That sorry them. It's me no worry ye no.
Wonsu honeymoon why ready say obeti meko.
And you go you need somebody to be around. Me a bubbly type, you know. Charlie, that's all you want.
Yeah, honeymoon be rubber tie there. Jeremy no only
50 days.
Only Holy Spirit here meeting.
On the Holy Ghost. 50 days.
Oh, what bread?
Or that 50.
Okay, ebusiafo inti video a yensa kan ye pede yesua efa honi. Na mbisa the video ni ehuni den na eko afutu ben na betuma aka da chobia na den na wadwen chew efa video no. Ti ebeko ye na aboafo. Ti da osu obia no na acho ahye comment section ho amaye be read. Na obi o show obia no so obehu bi na odi bia bone bra. Ti ekoye na aboafo na yeti afutu a wodi be mayewo. Okay, Apostle.
Yo.
Video ya share. Then I be found.
Yo, mommy, me that's bebre. Na ichia here na hwefo nyina so. Them raising kan. Omo nyi ho aye ni ho.
Yeah.
Nti na ehu hia anyi de omo hwa. Omo share. Na omo subscribe. De bit obeboa yi nyina na yehu de aye ye wa ha no. Ye wo binum so a worhwe. Me jizi de oya futu sema ye na yesu azefim. Nti se orboa o de ye na yehu de za ye no so orboa. Mommy me da say ehwe video na iti he ni nua ba na obia obehwe bia be ka chawo de ye nua ba no our problem. Our problem or fanyamim. Na nyama na or famin bibetuma ye physical bibetuma ye spiritual na bitieza or can see dia na chede physically no or fanyamam. Until I see the video there, the woman has a problem and she wants to communicate her problem to the whole world. Until Zameka afa zamihu wo video no money. But it's really be brave until you do also ye na ye be share za ye between na ye sua efim.
Okay. That's it. Mami, obabe. Then I make a found
You. You could add diashes for Yadamase.
Yeah.
Oh, akuma pa. What did say them ababu futus? And you'll be no your chance, but when you bring no bush for her, why she be? I can't video na share no. Be a counselor. I sense a bit. Video na share. I sense a bit. Yeah, or be a counselor. Or counsel for. Ye be a share na or ye mentor. Yes, shem, mess more cassa, ye follow the fires, and all of a sudden, video them about Tabana. My kind of essence a bit. Etching a question for Fobana.
Okay.
Baby. In fact, video way. Sha, but I dare miss me what video me say, Mammy no. And I can say or no baby no, but I think any couldn't solve problem Kessie. Because me see there Mammy Kenya say I'm passe. Ni kunu worry no Saturday in around that Saturday in no or he show ni kunu for 40 50 days they just say hey now which man would do that to the wife so me who say adam ma me ne femu no eye papa no ni issue a owo ene ma me no afro no ene hu de onye no ho ene afi depression bi abemu e de ama no and in fact onyam wa gese ba onyam wa big one that's what I can say for now.
Okay, that's it. Okay, it's apostle. Now Orika be today. Otumi park ni nyoma ko ni mami otumi park ni nyoma onko ni mami ho okwa na wa ba for several times. Is it good there be or by be record ofie na emboa wa be call parent ho. Or they be park on your mefifi.
Yo, mommy yeah that say.
Yeah.
Say if video na it is hen ma me na kana na chede onye only once pe na wo fifie also okọ na oba nti if the whole still beside there bear 6 times also is more than that so it means that oye nisu any ban na niema otumi fifie no na okọ ban it means that nuku krapo no onya problem because wona wo fifie a wo kwa wo ma no na chede be ma no obi a obro ema anade be ma no betum atwetu owodo ono no be ma ho kwan na etum efifie ono obi a will encourage you say fi hono ko but say ko na say samba it means the man is not a woman beater it's not a wife beater it means that the man is not threatening the woman. Remember ni bi wo ho a obetwe second wodo, obetwe two wodo. Ono kwa insane mba, but ono ne do no cover. It means that the issue is not threatened. It means the issue no wo kan obeye ye. And no, I don't support the idea say ma me ne be kwa obeba say issue ni your communication to them or can. There is a way to handle it. So your communication part there. Oh, and did you how there you communicate? What do you want to communicate? He is your husband. Say a kasana ukuni inti wa. I'm sure your husband will be offering no. Intino ebetu is the akotunenim. Then they will call your husband. Now mommy, adebanko ami wini there. Well, also nipe bia na nisu. Na ne ban ye na yenye the same obi o ha o ye sang with it ye mami or can say ya also no dey okasa ono do ye so it means that o ye sang with obi o ye sang with no talkative na ka share benyina onye talkative you will think that the man is not responding to more communication at urbano. So I will say that the woman should study the husband. If the husband is pragmatic people do not exhibit those things. We want to say we are reserved. And he said, "The casa be brere ha hona, I there irritating one." Until I see the man there, look only there or that type. Until the woman should study the husband. Those people have their strength and they have their weaknesses. Until no so when the weakness now, then obebuano. Now we feel there are other people that can help obia new weaknesses and all. Oh, new weakness they are ready to come out from it. But another more the more than 6 it will continue. So you must study the woman, the man. Look at the strength and look at the weakness. Find a way to help the man to come out from the weakness. It's a communication issue. The way a talkative will talk, it is not the way Obia or you're reserved. And if you have a partner like this, now when you're careful, you will begin to run away from the marriage all the time. Into mommy, the woman, it is not a good practice. Nuko ni you be out second one do per new conversation no. Because out second and okwa maybe da. But the way also so fifie mpo na okwa. Oh mo na nkasa back.
Okay. Very kind. There be obi out second kotin order to me fifie. Don't you think the emotional abuse cry dangerous in there be obi out second?
Yes, mommy, it is true. Only thing I can, it is very, very important there. Ibehu the temperament of your partner. Ma u partner te. Well, emotional, mommy, be some myself. Na man kasa wo ho a it's emotional and you will feel bad. But you would there damn na me suban say oh me kuno be san asem a obi o ho oper response ho but obi a oye obi today the same pragmatic people when you ask them something oba say mama ko dwe ho na mama will respond ebi a wo dey we hear response this here but honestly stand you may think that I'm going through that kind of trauma. And I'm not maybe an assembly on Casamo. It's a video that is a problem. Maybe an assembly, the communication is not flowing. Now in marriage, you know, the communication, but the other partner must also respond to it. Mommy, to surprise you there. All the issue now, because you couldn't the horse didn't be sent there, but I up our chow. I say a patch on here. Now me pay attention. So it means that you see, forgiveness is part of marriage. Trust is part of marriage. Communication is part of marriage. And so if all your attention is going only to the communication, you will have problem with it. And it is not only knife. So look at other trauma more. And yet oye benyini sua anani bana then you can seek for other people now want to me one bra marriage in no one boy mommy
that's man
say ye na share video na the question will be sent there in prayer hand do and always wait more down 6 times obi o ha sebita fat and to there and yet attention and anya komobo ana benyini and ankita mu dia wondi bibi wo ha o de benyini ya another benyini ya oba ne mpe ha session oba ne kasemu so otu a onko na wo funchen obi wo ha ompede na waresam bako na wo fifie setade wa waresam akowo fie pa oma enyimzi a won obufu ombu orebe aba mechanical na asem orebe ni kran yede nti obedam na bako bebi ana hu beton because one orekoso odini mba nyina akọ onye mbe nyina akwa na jede onkita adwembo ne bi na oreko na fie adwo bi kesi nti oreko na fie adwo na waba but me ya de fifie enya issues so fear try that bet now na ma solve issues bro no fa because for all you know ni nyina no ya follow them mami na all of a sudden what na so to the onye kunu ejai na wo grand or interview no kan there we fife da membre na ya we because na be a counselor there the me nyama nketenkete on say there edi fifie ana benyi bebre wo a the moment e bro wa nyan ne be bon komo na ye ntwakwa bia no oba no meso na no ye den no benyi na no nye dedam nti wo komo be bia ye ntwakwa dam no ontumi mfa na bon komo o so da menyi benyi bon komo a obeye problem dem meso aka there ono why a problem mama benyi no obabe ho mpendam but me advise the be a counselor no the best way that's na ho na konka because me the issue bro there dem na me cry dem na me de me cry na miracle na be catch na ment na ho no want to answer na kwa why a lucky pa there benyi no your sofo na nka benyi ni nyo so ka de wanya mpem obabi a okone nche because in predatory here ibade kwa no o hawa ma fie kesi ayetimi se bibi hawa ntumi nka na betu akọ baby na so ba na benyi bi a o hwa so ka da ogwa anya mpem bo baby a epede kanto kwa na koda mempran no so me benyi na meka the same thing into me kan de oba obandama onye tu no ode tu se wo benyi na otu ko kitchen ye diba ma wa etu ehun yes me ko kitchen ye diba ma enti ba na me hwehwe nkomo bo afa mo bon command sama atofo na mo me me phone yes because mo ye zewa wa mpa nye adeho na diban ye na menye me kun bi ba ye diban matina ho but me susum de bi potin wo be no nyina want to me come on out na ye go to me ba out of kind e no ye how na nko be boa ye nyina but for all you know no What be now what the baby lisie. For now yen see benyin asem. Ma yen hu mo benyin so. Ento ba na ye ti na asem sisa. Ento we catch ba ne de sanke minyin no na ka metna ho. Kakra ka tsin to say aye de why laughing stock amankrofa. Ye restaurant. Be a counselor. Oh yes.
Okay, Sisi and what kind of a counselor? Is it there no a counselor did that? And now there because of situational community now for the Oregon stories. Now for inviting programs now for starting there. What follow any advice or be a counselor now there or a registered counselor?
No, yeah, counselor according to the previous videos now, Marsha. Dama time mpona onye da wiggy makeup artist maybe or yeah that type of pay. Now natural normal and me penas and pa. That's not the problem pon oh yeah hija. Lady be hija. And nani issue no be mo be counselor
okay. Bishop.
Mami. Yo, mami that's it. I think say mencha yana chef for any man sorry for. Mommy, in fact, issue way Mami issue ya okika a ubia ATB. I stand in a position and I question the counseling ethics of this woman. It's answer mommy to be a counselor is not easy. To be a counselor no, I say ye the onipa enkwa e dia mao hweso mami. And until before you come out, say bia wa graduate femono. There are many things you have to go through. If you are not trustworthy, you can go through that process. And until what family you know, the first thing I'll say about what Vinny say, be a counselor to yourself. The next person should be your husband. Charity begins at home. What kokromu, what kope adishibi, I become a brabo. Send your beya obe to me dia boa edom. First of all, start from your home. If your husband is giving you hard time, not say be a to me. Sure. How come say who fear to be in control? Who kunu back who to be control no? Then when you come on social media, you are giving counseling. Do you know what I'm going through? Until someone can what did he say? Me so much me. Say me adente na wono to me fe bima ukunu. That is why I question the counseling ethics of this woman. Question Obisa mommy said, is it true say she is a registered counselor? I want to find out if that is true. Because some of us we are confused. And to look at her maturity, say issues are going on as a counselor. You can't keep it private. But you've come out on a social media. And the social media is everywhere. And more friendship, it's the or the good in so me who say from the man and then the woman. There is something I discovered that they are not compatible. Now say, worry, now say be a afena or babe worry. If you're a young guy, if you say me 10 years say you can't just marry anybody. Midway also for can be our temperament can be different from each other. Ebia me bufua, there is a way I react. Ebia also bufua, they will say maybe I don't mean to me say me react. Sana mete. Oni pebia so e wo so no mo. Obi die ti sensio, obi die eyemframa, obi die eyoja. It is a me yoja. Na se wo usukito oja. Ye worry what will happen at the end of the day. Me ka won't ase, usu ka misment ase. And until say o person worry. These are some of the things I also ehwemu ye. Panye say bia me hu awan ofe, ade bia wonti. I just want to fall in love with you. But we have to take a time and look at some of these things. I think say the woman didn't take time to study this man very well. Because say to me PFFA. Not one, not two, who can acquire. In fact, it's unbelievable. What is wrong with her? As a counselor, initial stage of meeting this man, how was your way of researching and trying to find out, say, this man, is it compatible with me? When to me and yet. And let what about social media so? For many years, man will muscle. How come, say, only one man, you can control that man in the house? To counsel your man, whatever you have to do as a woman, to be either submissive or whatever. You couldn't do that. But now we see yamono, the right thing. I don't understand. Until the man has a problem. I believe the man too has a problem because when I listen to the story, no, say, Bema knows there are some portion beyond playing the portion ye. Bema does all ye Bema. or say who take it out. In fact, the woman, you must control the woman in the house. Everything in the house must be beneath you. And when it's Obano or say me a public figure, into me the kasa. A man be a man. Men man kasa. We a bema kasa. Men ma fear no obi be fear. I can say Obano ni deni yeshi as you be man. Be on top of everything. So don't be in the house and look like I see somebody should tell you to do this or do that. Obano na instructor. Be a man on yourself. Into mommy, okay, this is the few one I can say. As we go on, any other one, they bet you also.
Okay. Okay, Apostle, I think the woman no ni video bi amehwe na oreka de say onim de anka nyama be turn out against her this time anka ni semo kodo ni nyado be share da. Because I think the no oreka to advise the youth and them crofo there, this is the situation na onukom. Them naughty nti shena also anyebi. That was the motive or the share ni story no. Because Abejo me kono nyim dressing. Me kono na nim boy oye we nya no oreka to advise people there. There na oti another damn situation onukom. Nti na enya dia oreka de bia odi tunkofo like I don't count because na ni video ba out for no. Now it was like all the time no oreka sama menu for no. Inti they be now it goes against him by no. Now it's a lot of people, ladies want penance because of the way I started no. Now the time now you buy a brand house ma ukun ye ufie ye man was sorry I want say one hunting na won come off for which in inti beginning no, a lot of ladies didn't like her. But as time goes on I show any video now nakasa recently or the buy no oreka there. So nim there nyamebe call against her this time. And Nasem Bia no beba out that introduce to young girls no for there. Say you'll be sorry you want to outside. It's sorry I be na social media na igdi kwasese maka one day we video no what the beba out now what they are petrol. Until this situation now or no. Is it there like no the council for there one year to them more than another like how? Because it's like Obia are confused. The no can hear was it a counseling or share another like how?
Okay, mommy, thank you so much. There say it's the question I be side now. So it means that all start take kasaya ache.
Oh yeah, ache.
Inti tie ne kasaya oka first na until there ne all kasisia. The first messages are about out no. It be on my specific areas be one year. Enti or chede say onyimde nyama bedan abeye nyama all committees ya anka ne oka na hyese no anka onka. Mommy clearly it would the woman have a psycho issue in counseling. You will be a friend with psycho. And psycho no ye bribia say depraves in other way about to be when there obe affect wajun kakra and yet say be abodamo mbodam but
it's true.
depression no obe to the extent there in sembia obe bibia no beka bi but in the counseling training no what you there wo counselor numpo no wona wo ba won chen wo be jafutu no in fact wonu re name mpo mfre hon ya wo code a is be ma hon nti ihu code na ihu there oh this code may refer to sumesi way this code nti any third party a obaba be file numpo no or who specific person mpo a oye no file no so it is part of counseling nti ethics no a woman and Juna be a woman says, Sabi, and yet depression be in all for more. I am not sure the or the Zama be the babu and send them. And to be all casas in Zamaraban, it means that or if I baby or if I Yamabim. So until the man, you will not see a counselor or Z in Zamabibaba upon send them. On I also say, so you dead, I mean, and Yamabekwa. So it means a Wakasa.
Oh yeah.
Assassin Wakasa. Wakansem. So what happened now? It means that Mammy will home and say, who will home with the ma? You are sending your casa there, Yakadeb. Who cancel another who pastor the pastor? So in the same way, we will have who counsel the counselor. So I am a counselor. I am a human being. I will go through challenges. I will go through depression. So who will counsel me when I go through depression? So the fact there, here counselor no, it means that uninterested in call home, uninterested in fatty team. Until the woman should have somebody who is also above her, because nipa. Yabako at a team, Yabako or home. It is all bad. You must get somebody you can share your story with. And I will also prefer there, because of the ethics in our council, you should also get somebody who is above you, who understand the ethics of counseling. And can own to me finding some member them. But I can say clearly that in counseling, your boyfriend no cycle. The woman is going through cycle, and we have a way. I be all for cycle, yanyana kasa. Inti mommy, the woman has problem. The another said kasa no any dem or kasa. The woman really understand the counseling work, but baby oduno or ye nipa or there obisu dem na otumi to no for. But then can you start any do anya bon but you see only to microphone and you be an obefe one as a counselor. But as a counselor we should also be guided. Sometimes I'm surprised we should not be too quick to condemn. So like Bishop Eken and then mommy okay in a manner wash a day, a manner wash it is not good though. But when you want to advise them, you want to encourage them. But when I would be fado, I would be cano. Oh no, no, but man, you pan betty another own tea. If you condemn me, you want me to listen to you. Already, you have taken your position already, so I will not listen. So counselors should know what we present to our people. Into mommy, we need to help the woman. Senior people who are above the woman should call the woman. Because anya dama abeye at the foforo. Minima maybe wo new town ha. Very nice woman. Even there the woman or ye obi a ogwenyim nyam. But because of depression maame na man or kasa enkrofo anyentem anje maame. When it happens like that, obefa wutrim. Very nice when you see her or her dressed in Italy, but that's on a casa because of Zanuko Nidi Yadinti. Actually, on a casa on it, Mamina Casa, Sisia, I don't know, Jim cry.
Mommy, apart from there, a bear call counselors or counsel for 6 months, or then your private counselor. As I go soften. Auntie Grammy does it. And we here because our year are going to be a little. But one more certificate woman. And some an best study our no. Semisha mammy ni previous videos are na on your beer or dress saketu or ebia nikun why you're softening to the man or softener catching on ye. And me for now me would make me who there. All kodomu on there. Or you why new year, or you not offer or shit because seriously see and nekasemu. And then the dress on the back social media this year and the previous one. It's only the previous ones no follow so for the also on ye shatter shade ye no follow the pa or can't send me there. Papa way some warana and come in another best see me penna man prenant come in. No ye knew the reason why. Why? Because obey baby or sound be mimpe fine. Ebi so a ohun papa ndem pa ne yourself nti obesi ne pen opene ashazo na nyi bie no excuse my language minim de dama na odem use na nyi bie na nka ondu bebi a edu since ani dam video be talk out no e wonu sisi ma far different from previous ones be
na why depressed no address them
me da say
ebi I share social media nipa no tia ware na ase na de why basa but ofi mu no why fine
come on
it could it be that now why depressed and now
yes
like
ebia
damana osofo na instruct na onye no nyama but okodu baby na onye nkrofurishia no hu de no me ya market o de me yede onna emman bebre yete ya atams onye kodam abrabo asese no mu ba me je de danka ne kunkuti no hu osofo maame osofo sisigamatali ompue onye counselor onko baby onwo biara anka onka de ne kun nyine agri bia for all you know na bia ne ntare hyem mpo na we be hu de no o de me pamatara me pa kakra o de me yemiti kakra no enu na o de ntabantawa ya ba but my abandon them because say shoma me power media no so atara o she na previous no she na ni penance mpa o she risk to yo beka dominga oresinya fe o kana sam na yi o ba ware for but say so kodu baby no love word no o fi de no be ni be ha no o bet tete no da me na ye mumba bebre no ye ya sesia ore ha wo ye no but okodu baby anka o ba de my bible aka no o de man of pai ntimi hundam.
Okay, inti Reverend, no what's your you there warrior won send back out or the mutu no moka. Na say bia mwaka na still like you are not comfortable with the situation na. Counselor na be kwa should there be a banning and a counselor. Na be yin so yan counselor there or the mutu no mo for one counselor.
I think sir coming from a different background. Ubia one adamfo. Ebia wo obia wa confine ni mu say wutumi aka wo secret ache na bia me no I don't have that kind of trust. Ebia me sha so no madam for bia wenyine cheme but oyobia for long years no my trust no. So I can adapt that person because of wenyine cheme no so wisdom might be there say bia wa worry or experience. After so if you told their mommy for many years and I work with their mommy so I can adapt such a person say bia we be counselor and bia make to me accord. So I believe say individually no each can have somebody that can advise you. Counseling is all about me ho akere me. Mame encouraging words be anan footun sem bia a bit to me enyim free me how no more. So if there's anybody, some people have their parents as their counselors. Obi won mame the way mame so no no wa fa ne mame say we me counselor. Because okana sem kire no ani mame onka nchuru bia nti o trust no so per whoever you think you can confide in that person I think it's individual they can have their own counselors that can talk to them ban say bia there's a man of God bia in their church and bia not necessarily in their church bia busuemu basa onipa no o ma trust no ama o ma hwe ne record bia onyo bia na no ha no oka o mo ka o ma sem kire sound pa kwa no onka njire bia afi so otu efuto the mouth so e work the mouth. I mean that person can be a counselor. But I think that people have friends. That's something they can also trust.
Okay. You find the counselor she need be you find that so you'll be in all the time now. Is it helpful? And although in your beer or you're far away from you.
Mommy, for me I think it doesn't necessarily matter if the fellow is far or near. They know a trust. If a counselor is not trustworthy, I can never come to you and put my dirty things in front of you because debia obia enim me na my from so yes what I did was wrong but who per se me ma hu a adebia between me and God until ba be the next God to me what's me trust you because me catch now kwa bonti okwa kampe we kumi. Some people have been counseling. At the end of the day, no, their counselor be and shut them soon as we question who are comfortable. It's any secret life. The real boon hunusunti, a question the need was on to me. The only thing say, counselors are like God in our life. So if somebody is a counselor, in fact, it should be somebody who can keep people privacy and also trustworthy in any strong power. Also, for you, on you be trustworthy. No one say. It should be background as the members. They find it difficult to go to the man of God. But then they trust another man outside, which is very bad. So pastors must also be counselors. Because in Krofona they are our children, they must trust us. Say the how be the mammy Jimmy this as a father no minko go in the mass. Me bomb pie me too for na ye their mouth.
Okay, that's it.
Mommy, impedem de kakaka. It is true. Say our bia no. Wunya ubia ota wa nature say moko how more obeshomu krana it is very good. Munya no individual so oye but our day you're careful. More especially so okay there, oh this is my counselor and not our counselor. We be there that individual no or when some be catch ne yipan and I want to be no so cancer no when some be catch just recently BSc and I have to intervene because me who there Besiano complain bitterly that in someone a brand no ne suffer no ko kan de no suffer no kano onya kwa ohumi o de oka kirem no hu we so we oka kirem well so counselor you sure we bie nyina na wo be so jegu when I wire no mon over there you're very careful. Some of us suffer no so no mommy over there you're careful. Some of us suffer no if there won some okwechira catch her they will help you so because some of us suffering to me keep a secret me name ne aye oye hon e kaka puppet ni mu no na wojina meanwhile even in the puppet you can microphone some of puppeting it is part of the preaching ethics into obi beka in cemetery wa it is not the puppet you use to announce and microphone issues are what oh mommy it is good let's get the counselors as couple it is good advice but counselor bia so mommy or kasa bebre no show who you want na mo no position no show me ya one show me ya into mommy na me se me pede me kaka hono
mama me top up e won dey eba yan fantifuma wo ware wo yi obi ota aware nichi anka da mini pa no the best counselor for the marriage because obi ota aware nichi wo yin ta aware nichi no say oh how be ma afraid da mini pa no nti ebushan wo hwe wo yi bia kekede ta da mun kofu aware ichi ha nti say wo you there ta aware ichi one pie bonda with the maware no amman to kwa bia mbemu no be kan jiro because I had this okay say what am and sanka ye pe best counselors are homo wonye man the one sa wa aware ichi no one na wo ye counselors are there
bia no so obi ana no nda
junkie bi enti ebushan wo hwe mo odimu obi ana no nkasa emide me nka ho hwa no ho ma ta aware nkoko 7 echi o mebushim
wow
anka me ye benyin ba wo mebushim on said ni da aware echi but aware bia no me kashi me nyam de ta aware echi because oyaza oye very serious
yeah
me nyanko bi na akoyaze obia say why o se me nyai waka bia na ho so wo di nechi so on to menye ba o ka chempere agi maye
no ye
maye pa na mi ndo wo de me ka chewa obia na nte me ka nda me ka wo de me show you do na why nti wo bia wo trust me ya e ka wa sem che na 100 years we are be say on pray no be ntada nande ya so free tito da mo one man church see everybody nyankopon well baby would de jina wo da ahwe wonkom nti nya ko bo aware asamanda on the next day wo kwa ashora other pipe na do na waka nti ya hwe yenu
asemu nti sisi ano se ebia na eko challenges mu nti ebia pede ko wo maame ho ana wo papa fie na eko refresh up eko ade na wo hu like wo hu den is it a burden another a burden ma another who dey bia into me handle aware
mommy to talk about say we call busham for to refresh yourself no where is it in the Bible so say we free ukunu fie na we call wa for no the Bible never stated it yenye clear with this say nyame asem say oba ene obema before ma wo for nchen yes you can go and visit them but situation we no the way econo it is no you're wrong to me nka say mommy I have come and refresh myself ukunu onya aware hey nti fe na ye wo no the open na wo ye oba wa refa ya ware wo sorry na wa fa back na wa tamoma me call mommy ho akọ refresh me ho if an actual way wo nti to talk of say bia me mommy and daddy na say me ba wa be fie na say wo so uba refresh wo I have many questions to ask you. Then at the end of the day no I will send you to go back because see there is no ground na impose of so jawaria obetumi aka say me kunu abome me kunu emfemi nka say yi enu nti me jaya ware be ma no mbu adwaman. I've heard about this system of US. There's a way they talk about say you can separate yourself from your husband or give a space. Then when the fire goes down, then you come back. I mean, it's a system. I wonder where they got it from. Because anything can happen. What about say who job man or no? Na obafu frubisu about you so what would you do? Pass worry. Sometimes when you say beer, them many person here, but the devil is also at the side of the other side. Waiting say, Ubeye bibi na weburem. Anything can manage or get into the mind of this man because the trap has been set already. Now if you fear, I don't know the duration of time will be a married woman. You don't think about the man say, Beman obey say, or your so a software or sorry, and busy if you put the only time what Jan will fear, now we say I'm going to refresh myself. From where? It's mommy for me, no, be a parent, no. Ya often in tears, so ya often as a baby fear. Don't say be a as some work and no until no watch not now no more. Obema obano na worry be good. Bisan is possible. Frebeman in brief, papa. O ye de enemy de commentiase, Chemasi ye. No be man on chero do identity. I think at the end of the day, the woman will be instructed well to go back to her house and then go and continue with her marriage. It's a moment, that is what I can say.
Okay. I think the time is almost
50 days fasting. 50 days fasting. Mommy, yaka bebre was a obani ye. But say ti obani kasa so a problem ho. From the onset, the host ni bisani bibi. The mati there Ukunkwai order so and Obano so kind 50 years in 50 days in a wood you. But mommy, the truth is that I saw for you now or the what I said there is difference between a family and a church. Send me a software or whatever who them if Yamena sorrow do. Inti wafem sofu Samarisha Yamena Sorodra. Me be fear me yeja me yokun. When I come to the house, I'm a husband. My children will call me daddy. My children will not call me Osofu. So they will call me daddy. Me be fear I must play the role of a husband. Well, until Osofu be no more. They are mixing up things. No one what boy Osofu di. Na enya ready there be wire e kan ya you fry then na aya you fool that day ewie that day no intentu manye 50 days fasting na that year wo ready ni ye anajuna wo kada hotel I don't know what I say you can see me akwanche kwana wo fada what for back you in the bed now said that my nyama bi na wombu hene nyame som no true ba it is not a good thing. You must know that there is time for everything. Once a worry have time Jesus wa wo na wie and you want to record Jesus nkonko na sabio sunsun nkonko ni we abeda it is not like that boja witamazubo and to make sure I suffer say look on me sure that all the problem mama ni nyano the man have more time on the altar than the woman. That is why the woman is complaining. And to say yeah the man suffer yeah the man you can't manage it. Into no, but one pie, nobody is saying that don't pray, nobody is saying that don't fast. But mommy, you see, say on ya soon be na waka Jeffy baby, na one man when I quench there. before you will sleep with your wife, come and do this sacrifice for me. And you make a near Benin year and 1 year. So, yes, soon be on your direction be. No one could baby a KJ be. No one man direction there. For the 50 days after your marriage, don't sleep with your wife there. And I tell them, near Benin and then try it. And try you cry, mommy. In time, so for the young shrimp, Yahu ye. Yeah, nipa. Your feelings. Yeah, wala, yawa. Oh, now, on your beyond the bets now soon. I have bring name. Come. Now, I want to hear the man. I don't know. Live soon. Now, you come on name. Oh, mommy. Into your friends. Now, you're good there. Hey, wala. I saw for there, yawa. On your beyond the Holy Ghost, no. Sometimes come, go from, feel soon, not bring name. Now, your man Juman, or your name is Juman, or yes, soon, Juman.
Okay, what your final advice?
Yo, in the Roman fathers in watching, and no 1 year Roman father. Kakrama can there, ya war for a man to know, and your Simbia, no what you could feel. And then your baby has no fire back, educate. Edema, Webush and what would the honorable on a crown or ban. It's the Medina. Oh, ma, I want now con on the Monya corner. 17 mammy fee. No, Mr. Penny Wakawa, Kakra no atom in the bag. Another, maybe brother Nippon one and look on in channel. Kakana matam back on one. Mamma said, ah, a bad no, I want me to go in a mammy sister. I saw my papa. Maybe I'm not the mobile
to our people. Into mommy, we need to help the woman. Senior people who are above the woman should call the woman. Because anya more obey at the foforo. Maybe war new town her. Very nice woman. Even there, the woman or obia or when you yam. But because of depression, Mamma na man or casa, or man or casa, and crowfo and yentem and jimamen. When it happens like that, or before trim. Very nice when you see her or her dressed in Italy, but that's on a casa because of the new quality yedinti. Actually, on a casa on it, Mamma casa, Sisia, I don't know, Jim crowd. Mommy.
Mommy, apart from there. Ebe wara be call counselors or counsel for 6 months or then your private counselor aside wo suffer no
Auntie Grandma does say and we here because our year are going to be a little who nyama but one more certificate one and some na best study our no se me hwe ma me ni previous videos na onyo bia or dress saketu or ebia ne kun why your suffering the man or suffering catch and onye me for now me hu there all kodomu on there oyi why no ye oyi na tara ofata or because say see an ne kasemu and the dress on the back social media says here in the previous one it's on the previous ones no follow suffering nyem also onye shatario shede no follow ni pa o can say me there Papa we some na anka me enum another be see me peno man pena anka me enum na ye nyina yim the reason why because obey a sound be yim me fine be so a ohun papa ndem pa na ye osofo nti obey see me peno pene ashazo na nyi bie no excuse my language minim the one or them use na nyi bie na anka ondu be a edu since I need the video better out now. And we know system far different from previous ones.
Now why depressed into no dress them.
Me da say
if you are social media, nipa not ya why na say na the why basa but o film why
fine. Come on.
Could it be that now why depressed and now
yes,
like
ebia. Damana osofo na instruct there onye no nyama. But okodu baby na onye nkofuri no hu de no. Me ya ma kechi or dem ye dey on a man we bring say ya at times on your kodam abrabo asese no ba me je dey danka ne kunkuti no hu osof maame Also for systematically on pray on your counselor on ko baby on wo biara anka on kan de ne ko nyine agree bia for all you know na bia ne ntare hyem mpo na we be hu de no o de me pamatara me pa kakra o de me yemiti kakra no enu no de ntabantawa ya ba but my abandon them because say shoma me power media no so atara o she na previous no she na ni penance mpa o she skirt yo beka dominga oresinya fe o kana sam na yi o ba ware for but say so kodu baby no love word no o fi de no be yin be ha no o bet tete no da me na ye mumba bebre no ye ya sesia ore ha wo ye no but o kodu baby anka o ba de my bible aka no o de the man of buy ntimi hundam.
Okay, inti Reverend Fisiano, what's your you there warrior won't send back out or the mutu no moka. Na say be a mwaka na still like you are not comfortable with the situation. Counselor na be a should there be a banning and a counselor? In a being so any counselor, and there mutu no more for one counselor.
I think, sir, coming from a different background, ubia one a downfall. Ebia wo obia wa confine ni mu say with me account secret ache na bia me no I don't have that kind of trust. Ebia me sha so no madam for bia when you ne me but oyobia for long years no my trust no so I can adapt that person because of when you ne me no so wisdom might be there say bia wa worry or experience after so if you told their mommy for many years and I work with their mommy so I can adapt such a person say bia we be counselor and bia make to me account. So I believe say individually no each can have somebody that can advise you. Counseling is all about me ho akere me. Mame encouraging words be anan footun send bia a bit to me enyi free me how no more. So if there's anybody, some people have their parents as their counselors. Obi won mame the way mame so no mo no wa fa ne mame say we me counselor. Because okana sem kire no ani mame onka nchiro bia nti o trust no so per whoever you think you can confide in that person I think it's individual they can have their own counselors that can talk to them band say bia there's a man of God bia in your church and bia your church and bia not necessarily in their church bia busuemu basa onipa no o ma trust no ma o ma hwe ne record bia onyo bia na no ha no oka omo come asem chire sound pakwa na onka njiro bia afi so otu efutu the mouse so e work the mouth I mean that person can be a counselor but I think say people have friends that's something they can also trust.
Okay you find the counselor bia should be bia you find that so you bia in all the time na is it helpful and although in your bia or you're far away from you
Mommy for me I think it doesn't necessarily matter if the fellow is far or near. They know a trust. If a counselor is not trustworthy, I can never come to you and put my dirty things in front of you because debia obia enim. Me na my from so yes, what I did was wrong, but who per se me ma unhua adea adebia between me and God. Until Baba yet the next God to me. What's me trust you? Because me catch now kwa bonti oko kampe we kumi. Some people have been counseling. At the end of the day, no, their counseling be answered them so na semu yenti. Wa question wa konfu. It's answer any secret life. The real bull hunu sunti. Akwese ne ni guase ontumi nya hwe abrabo nti the only thing say onkum no hunu mfiasa so wezo. Counselors are like God in our life. So if somebody is a counselor, no, in fact, it should be somebody who can keep people privacy and also trustworthy, no any strong power. Also for you will be trustworthy. No one say it should be background as the members. They find it difficult to go to the man of God. But then they trust another man outside, which is very bad. So pastors must also be counselors. Because in Krofona Yeshawanum, they are our children, they must trust us. Say they will how be a the mammy Jimmy this as a father no minko go in masse. Me bomb pie me 204 na ye their mouth.
Okay, that's it.
It is true. Say our bia no wunya ubia ota wa nature na say moko how more obeshobun krana it is very good. Munya no individual so oye but our day you're careful. More especially so okay there, oh this is my counselor. and not our counselor. We be who there that individual no or when some be catch ne nipan and I want to be no so cancer no when some be catch. Just recently BSc and I have to intervene because me who there Besiano complain bitterly. The in someone a brand no ne suffer no kan de no suffer kano onyans konya kwa ohu mi o de o ka kire no ohu we so o de o ka kire well so counselor you won sure we bie nyina na wo be so jegu when I were no mon over there you're very careful. Some of us suffer no so no mommy over there you're careful. Some of us suffer no if there won some okwechira catch her they will help you so some because some of us suffering to me keep secrets me name ne aye oye hon e kaka puppet no mu no na wogina meanwhile even in the puppet you can crofo win some puppeting it is part of the preaching ethics into obi beka in some trewa it is not the puppet you use to announce and crofo issues are wo mommy it is good let's get the counselors as couple it is good advice. But counselor bia so a mommy or kasa bebre no show who you want na mono position no show me ya well so na it's mommy na me say me pede me kaka hono
mama me top up I want the eba yan fantifuma wo ware a wo yi obi ota aware nichi Ankadami nipa no the best counselor for the marriage because obi ota aware nichi when you ta aware nichi na say oh how be ma afraid am nipa no nti ebushon wo hwe wo yo bia kekede ta da mun kofi wa warechi ha nti say wo you there ta warecha one pie bonda with the maware no amantukwa bia mbebe no obeka ncho because I had this okay say wadamo and sanka ye pe best counselors are homo wonye man the one ta wa warechi no one na wo ye counselors are
we bia no so obi ana no nda
junkie bi nti ebushon wo hwe mo odimu obi ana no nkasa emide me nka ho hwa no ho mata waren koko 7 echi o mebushim
wow
anka me ye benyin ba o mebushim on said ni da walechi but aware bia no me kashi me nyam de ta walechi because o ya za o ye very serious me nyanko bi na okoyaze obia say why o se menye waka bia na ho so wodi nechi so on tu menye ba o ka chempede agi maye